Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through chair yoga. We will practice together for 30 minutes today. As we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any of the stretches do not work for you, please skip them. You can come on out and you can modify. For today's practice, you'll want to have a chair to practice in. We'll be doing a variety of seated and standing stretches, so if you need to adjust your screen, please do so. And today's practice will be a wonderful full body practice. So we'll work on relaxing the mind, relaxing the body. We'll work on increasing flexibility, mobility, and strength. And just a reminder, all of the stretches that we'll be working with today, you can easily bring them into your workday. So it's so nice if you can carve out the 30 minutes to come take class. But even if you just have 1 minute or 2 minutes, it's so wonderful just to take a little time to do some of these stretches, just to bring a little relief to the mind and the body throughout the day. I would love to begin class today in a standing position. So if you'd like to meet me in that comfortable standing pose. And as we begin, we'll just start with a nice foundation of the feet. So take your feet, bring them right in line with your hips. So we don't want the feet to be out too wide. Sometimes if we just take two of our hands together like this, that tends to be about the right spacing of the feet. We want our toes to be pointing straight forward. So if you saw your second toe and you drew a line straight back, it should meet the center of your ankle. So that tends to be what straight is for our feet. Let's start with a few rolls of the shoulders. We'll take a nice big inhale, draw the shoulders up, take them back, relax them down. Full breath in, draw the shoulders up, back, and down. And we'll take that one more time. Nice full inhale and exhale. As you relax your shoulders here, take a moment to close the eyes. We'll begin to drop into our body, into our breath, into the present moment. We'll start by just feeling the feet gently planted and grounded down. Add a gentle bend in the knees, a slight tuck of the tailbone. Lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your neck. Reach and stretch through the crown of the head. We'll drop in, we'll connect to our inhale and our exhale. And just focusing on the breath as it moves in and as it moves out of your nose. And trying to lengthen as you breathe in, lengthen as you breathe out. And then carrying this breath with you as you go through class today. If the mind wanders, let the thoughts go. Come back to your breath. If you'd like, you can set an intention for class. An intention is a goal or a desire that you may have, maybe the reason why you came to class today. It might be to relax a little bit, to give back to yourself, to release tension in the body. Whatever that intention is, setting that for the practice today. Let's take a deep breath in. We'll begin to extend the hands up, taking the hands together, drawing the hands to the heart as you exhale. Let's grab our chair and we'll want to be able to access the seat. So we're just going to spin that seat in towards us. We'll set up that foundation through our feet once again. Take an inhale, sweep your hands up. And then on the exhale, let's take ourselves down into a forward fold. And then as you fold here, we will shake out the legs a little bit. You can bend one knee and bend the other knee. Maybe shake and relax your head yes, and shake and relax your head no. So just start with this really nice warm up just to get the circulation flowing, get the blood moving in the body, start to warm up all of those muscles. As you come to stillness, let's walk our hands to the right. We'll take a side stretch in our forward fold. See if you can take your left hip and gently scoop that left hip back a little bit more so that the feet are even and your hips are even. We'll take ourselves back to center, hands to the left. Squeeze off that left shoulder. And just see if you can find a little bit of space in between the ribs on the right side as you breathe here. We'll come back to our forward fold. Maybe add a little bend of your knees here. We will lower the stomach down, lift up through the heart, and then a rounding of your back body, chin to your chest, head hangs heavy. Lower your stomach, lift up through the heart space. Round the back body, chin to chest. And then begin to flow with the breath here. So a really nice opportunity to stretch and strengthen the spine. Feel yourself move with the breath here. Lengthening as you inhale and lengthening as you exhale. Let's take an opportunity to lower the stomach. We will lift up through the heart and then pressing down into your feet and in your hands, we're going to take ourselves to standing. So nice big inhale to rise on up and then gently floating the hands down to the heart as you exhale. Let's sweep our hands up, nice full breath in. Arms are going to open to the right for a standing twist. Arms will come to a T position. On the in-breath, lengthen your spine. Out-breath, let your twist deepen. Inhale, float it back to center, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. Find that activation in both of the arms. Reach through both of your fingertips. We'll take our breath back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the right. See if you can gently relax your shoulders from your ears. Right hand onto your right low back. Left hand floats up and back. Feel the hips pressing forward, maybe feeling a nice stretch in the front of your hips. Let's take the breath back to center to T. Hands to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale. Let's twist to the left. And see if you can have your hips even as best as you can. You might feel the hips twisting to the left a little bit. So maybe draw the hips to the right. We'll take left hand to left hip, right hand up and back. Breathe here. Nice deep inhale through nose. Deep exhale through the nose. Floating yourself back on up to a T position. Hands reset up towards the sky. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, let's take our forward fold down to the chair. We will lower the stomach. We will lift up through the heart. Let's do a little round of our back and we'll come to standing. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. So those are our modified sun salutation A's of the chair. Let's give that another try. Take a breath in, hands reach and stretch up. Exhale, we'll dive it down. Lower your stomach. Let's lift up through the heart. Little rounding of the back body. Ground through the feet. Let's take it to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart space. We'll go one more time here. Big inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, float it down. Lower the stomach, lift up through the heart. Round the back body, chin to chest. Let's take it to standing position. And then floating your hands to your heart as you exhale. I would love to work with a pyramid stretch using our chair. So for this stretch, we are going to take our right foot forward, and you might step it underneath the chair. We're going to step our left foot back a bunch. And we'll have our left toes pointing straight forward so that it's gentle on our knee. We are going to square our hips and our shoulders forward here. Let's take our hands up. Big inhale, expand. Exhale, float yourself down. And then as you're folding here, maybe play with the weight in the feet. You can draw your weight into that right foot, lifting that right hip up, balancing the hips and the low back. You can encourage that left hip to come forward. Maybe right hip draws back a little bit. Getting a little bit more balance here in the hips and in the low back. Let's take that right hand to the sky. We are going to find a twist. And then as you're twisting here, breathe into the twist for your low back, mid back, and upper back. Let's begin to release back into pyramid. Left leg begins to lift. Let's try for a balancing warrior three pose. And if this one feels comfy, you can always play with the idea of lifting your hands from the chair if you don't need that support. Let's imagine if you could see yourself in a mirror. Try to create a capital T shape in the body. So a long line from your right heel to right hip and long line from left heel to the crown of the head. Let's take our left foot to meet our right foot. We'll come to a fold here. Let's lower the stomach, lift up through the heart. We will round the back body. Let's take it to standing. Big inhale. And hands to your heart. As you exhale, let's take that left foot forward. We'll take our right foot back. We'll try for pyramid on the other side. And if you wanted to make this easier, you can shorten the stance between the feet. And if you want to make it more challenging, you can always widen the stance between the feet. We'll sweep those hands up. Big inhale. Exhale. Fold yourself down. And then pyramid is also called intense side stretch pose. So we'll just take some time here to become aware of where we feel the stretch in our body. Maybe feeling the stretch through the backs of the legs, maybe through the low back, maybe through the back of the neck as you let your head relax and you let your head release. We'll float that left hand up. We will twist here. And then as we're twisting, let's breathe into the twist for the stomach and the ribs and the chest. Reset yourself back into pyramid. Right leg will begin to rise. We'll come into our warrior three pose, our balancing warrior. So we'll find a neutral gaze in this warrior. So try to lengthen the back of your neck. You don't want to crank the head forward too much. So just nice neutral gaze. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Let's float that right foot to meet our left. Forward folds. We will lower the stomach, lift up through the heart, round through the back body, come on up to standing position, and then And floating your hands down to your heart as you exhale. Let's take our chair. We're going to spin it around so that we can access the top of the chair. And we're going to bring that chair off to the left. Let's take an opportunity to get nice and grounded in our feet. And we're going to work a little bit with our balance here. So we'll start by bringing our right leg up and over. Toes can be on the ground. Leg can be lifted in a half wrap. And you can also try for a full wrap here. We can float our arms out into a T position. So feel free to hold onto the chair if you need to. We're going to take our right arm under, left arm over. You can reach for opposite shoulders. You can press the backs of your hands together. You can wrap the arms up and wrap the hands up. And you'll just want to find one spot to focus on, one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. Option to float the elbows to the knees if you'd like. You can take the eagle into the nest. Just make sure that you're breathing here. So easy to hold the breath. So nice deep inhale, nice deep exhale. We'll rise up. We'll unwrap arms, unwrap legs. Let's take those hands right on up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's bring our chair off to the right. Getting grounded in the feet to begin. Left leg comes up and over, either toes on ground, leg lifts for half wrap, or try for full wrap. You can wrap through the arms if you'd like. You can always keep your hand on the chair if you need that support. So maybe wrapping those arms, reach for opposite shoulders, press backs of hands together, arms wrap and hands wrap. Try to feel nice and grounded through all the parts of your right foot. We'll press through the inside, through the outside. And then notice your body's natural tendency, if you tend to roll in or you tend to roll out. We're going to float the elbows down to the knees. We'll take the eagle into the nest. Maybe do a gentle scan of the body here. Where are you holding on to tension? Try to let that tension go as you exhale. Breathe in. Let's float ourselves on up. We'll unwrap the legs and arms. Big breath in, hands reach and stretch up. Exhale, draw the hands down to the heart. Let's come on into a seated position. So let's get that nice comfy seat. And as we take seat in, let's sit towards the edge of our seat. And we'll just take time to align the feet. So we'll have our feet in line with our knees, knees in line with our hips. We are going to sit back into the chair now. And we'll get a little bit of support from the back. So we don't want to be slouching, but we want to feel supported here. Let's start by extending the right leg out in front. We'll take an opportunity to point and flex the foot. And then as you're doing this, try to zip the core out. Feel the tailbone tuck. Feel the navel move back and up towards the spine a little bit. We'll take an opportunity to pause, begin to point the foot. Breathe into the stretch for the top of your foot. Breathe into the stretch for your calf. And then we will flex the foot, press through the heel, back of the knee. Find that activation. Circle. Maybe find large circles, maybe find smaller circles. And reverse. So we will flow in the other direction. Right leg, let's bring it up and over. We'll create a figure four seated stretch here. And if you need to, feel free to move towards the edge of your seat. Sometimes that will help you to move a little deeper into the stretch. We will flex the right foot. You can gently encourage this right knee down. We'll take a nice full breath to lengthen. And then as you exhale, we'll fold ourselves down. Maybe closing the eyes here. Try to relax the eyebrows, relax through the jaw. And try to relax the back of the head, the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Relax the upper, mid, and low back. Relax through the legs. Relax through the feet. And we'll use our breath to rise up. Sweep your hands to the sky. Full inhale here. Release your hands to the right for a twist. And feel free to use that right hand to grab onto the chair, maybe drawing you a little deeper into the twist. Let's take ourselves back to center. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, twist to the left. Let that left shoulder relax from your left ear. Back to center. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, float the hands down to the heart. Let's gently release that right foot down. Feel free to sit back, get comfortable. Feel that alignment in your body. Left leg comes out. We'll take that opportunity to point and flex the foot. Take time to come back to your breath. Feel the breath gently flowing in, flowing out of your nose. We'll take time to pause here. We will point the toes and then flex your foot and circle. And we're going to work for a nice smooth circle. So if you feel that there are areas that feel a little bit stuck or a little tight, you can always take a little time, try to work through that. Reverse your circles. And then we are going to bring our left leg up and over. We'll find that figure four stretch. Nice big inhale to lengthen and then exhale, fold yourself down. Try to clear the mind of thoughts. You always have thoughts moving through the mind. Maybe thoughts for the past, thoughts for the future. Try to release the thoughts. Bring your awareness to the breath. Bring your awareness to the present moment. Take a breath in. Let's begin to sweep our hands up. Exhale, we will twist to the left. And then as you're twisting here, let your exhale just melt away tension in the body and in the mind. Hands reach and stretch up. Big inhale here. Let's twist off to the right. And as we're twisting, take that full in breath. Feel your spine lengthen. Full out breath. Let your twist deepen. Back to center. Inhale, hands reach and stretch up. Exhale, draw your hands to your hearts. Let's take that left foot to meet with the right. We'll come towards the edge of our seat here. Let's take our feet out nice and wide. Hold on to the chair. We'll do a little swish of our knees to the left and then off to the right. And then finding stillness here. Let's take the feet out nice and wide. We'll have our toes moving in the same direction as the knees. We'll take that right arm onto the right leg. Let's float the left arm up and over. Try to roll that left shoulder back a little bit. Right shoulder draws under. Feel the heart shine to the sky. Let the core move you through center. Left arm lowers, right hand lifts. Feel grounded evenly in the right and in the left sitting bone. We'll take ourselves back on up to center, holding onto the chair. Walk the feet in a little bit. Gentle swish of the knees to the left and to the right. Let's come to a comfortable seated position. Just walk those feet out in front. Feet are in line with hips. Find that alignment of heels in line with knees, knees in line with hips. Let's take an inhale, gently sweeping the hands up. And then as you exhale, draw the hands to the heart. And we'll take a moment to pause here and close the eyes, find a gentle gaze. Just take a moment to thank yourself for practicing chair yoga today. For doing something so good for your mind and so good for your body. Letting the eyes open when you are ready. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope that you enjoyed today's chair yoga practice. Feel free to leave me any comments in the chat. I look forward to being back with you next week. We have our yoga class on Mondays. That's 5:30 Eastern time, 45 minutes of stretching on the mat. I'll also be here on Tuesday for mindful stretch, 3 o'clock Eastern time, and that's 15 minutes of stretching on the mats. Have a peaceful day today, and I will see you next time. Take care.